People want to. The situations I've been through, my anxiety, and I mean, look, I have had so many experiences, definitely PTSD. I mean, I haven't been specifically diagnosed because I don't trust doctors. I'm afraid to go to them. Yeah, that's the truth of the matter. I don't hardly trust anyone anymore, because I don't I haven't really had a lot of experience with knowing people that I felt like I could trust that led me to, have just been surrounded and dealing with. Well, I'm microwaving pizza again. Do that. Just, I don't know. I've done all the research, basically diagnosing myself. Taking all the types of clinical tests are available online, questionnaires and stuff like that. And if you go by that, then I've actually read and listened on audiobook to a lot of Freud and Carl Jung and some of the most respected psychiatrists in history and stuff like that. So clinically speaking, now I don't agree with. You see, I see psychiatry in so many ways as a form of, just another form of gaslighting, basically. Just yet another form of having your actual real experiences invalidated, being gaslit, and having people trying to convince you that you don't have reason to feel the way you feel, or that there's something wrong with you or with your brain. I've just been observant and I've had a lot of negative experiences. I've had a lot of trauma. I've been surrounded by. I've been definitely feeling like I'm in an unsafe environment and unsafe situations for a very long time. Um, there's been there's a general lack of care for my psychological, financial, physical, and emotional well-being. Mm-hmm. For many, many, many years. Well, that's kind of what dealt with, and I know that I guess I wasn't born what would be societally considered normal. What become I wish I could, go to another window outside the program, continue to record so that I could read this quote. It's Aldous Huxley quote. Something like, most people are not normal in the absolute sense of the word. They're normal only in regard to how they adapted to a very abnormal situation. These abnormally normal people, you know, have had their, something like had their, spirits crushed at a young age. And so, become adapted to an environment that if they were fully human being, they ought not to be adapted to. Mm-hmm. They do not suffer as the neurotic does, I don't remember exactly. I'm not getting it all right. I'm just off the top of my head, something like that, right? I know that I'm, according to research and tests I've done online, that I would be diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome for one thing. A lot of the various symptoms of Asperger's I know I have. When I was younger, I was already diagnosed. I don't know if their diagnoses were correct at all, but I was diagnosed with Tourette's syndrome, attention deficit hyperactivity, social anxiety disorder, obsessive compulsive disorder. That's what I've already been diagnosed with. If I went back and opened up to a psychiatrist, I'm sure they'd write down, agoraphobic, depression, Asperger's syndrome, and then they probably put like manic depressive or schizophrenic or something on there. Yeah. I'd say, here, have some drugs so that so that you'll be high enough that we can try to convince you that the crummy situation you're in and the crummy stuff you've dealt with is perfectly normal and fine, and that you should be perfectly happy in a situation where anyone who's fully human and paying attention would be terribly unhappy. I gotta tell you, those, you might need to get some of those pills or whatever. So I can cope with living in this society, because I don't know what to do. Got the weight of the world against me. And I really feel like I demand my fucking right to just be agoraphobic and stay the fuck away from the people and places and situations that are causing me so much undue anxiety and stress. and messing with my head, messing with my life. I don't want to be forced to associate with people, to be in places where I feel unsafe, where I'm harmed, where I'm I just don't want to deal with this shit anymore, man. Imagine being a homeless agoraphobic. Not being able to afford to be a shut-in and avoid the people in situations that cause you extreme anxiety and psychological and emotional distress. Feeling totally without options, without help, without understanding, without care, without any support, you know, in this regard. And I'll tell you, my issue with psychiatry and stuff like that is, well, it's basically this. It's that you'll not invalidate my experience or my feelings about them. You know, my experience has been, you know, very real, and I, it's quite logical in you know, most instances for me to feel the way I do because I've been wronged and I've been abused and I've been feeling trapped in unsafe situations. And this has gone on for a very prolonged period of time. Essentially, I've been tortured for many years. Absolutely tortured. I've had to juggle so many different varieties of psychological, spiritual, and emotional torment and abuse for so long. I'll say again, when I go outside and I have to go out there and deal with people and try to work, and you know, I swear I really don't think this is my issue. I think the issue is that I'm more aware and more alert of my surroundings than others, and therefore I'm very bothered by what I see and what I experience. As anyone who wasn't unconscious and unaware would be if they had the same experience as I did. It's not wrong for me to feel grieved. It's not wrong that I feel the way I do because the experiences I've had are what led me to feel that way. The experiences I continue to have, the situation I continue to be in is what leads me to feel that way. Let me for once be in a place where I have some control over my own environment, where the societal pressures aren't crushing down upon me and the abuses and the narcissism and the madness of this world aren't fucking with me and watch me calm the fuck down and be okay, you know? It's gonna take time to deal with it because I've dealt with very prolonged torture, a very prolonged torture. It's not just trauma, it's trauma upon trauma upon trauma upon trauma upon trauma compounded over many years. Having endured the shit that I have endured, frankly, societal expectations can shove it up their ass. Yeah, because I've frankly had enough of this shit. I've been through enough of this shit. More than enough. Way more than enough. This bullshit way too long. I don't want to have to cope with this shit situation so I can pretend like my shit situation isn't shit. It is shit. I just want to be in a better situation. I don't see any way forward, honestly, with the circumstances that I'm in, the environment that I'm in, the people that I'm surrounded by, the you know you know, you want to say the aura of the people and the places that I am surrounded by, and the negativity and the abusive narcissism and the just being stuck continually prolonged in unsafe environments. I shouldn't have to endure this. It isn't right. It's not wrong for someone who's lost so much to grieve, or for one to find it difficult to grieve properly in the wrong environment, for one to find it difficult to heal without rest. To heal the one's broken leg while one is forced to run and run and run. To heal without rest. To be able to find peace of mind and peace in my heart in an unsafe and unfit environment. It's not wrong for me to feel that way. I don't want to feel that way. That's not based on delusional thinking or fantasy or anything. It's based on experience and empirical evidence, you know? Why? Because reasons, that's why, okay? I really feel like we're living in a world of machines. I don't know. It's kind of like that part of that. What was that Charlie Chaplin speech, Dictator or whatever? Machine men with machine minds and machine hearts. That's what I feel like I'm dealing with here. What was that other Bukowski? Walk through streets of the dead, fields of the dead, men without eyes, men without faces, with what was it? High school idea. I don't remember the whole quote. It's a good one though. Look up Bukowski. Uh, Streets of the Dead or whatever. Yeah, it's newspaper minds and high school ideas. I don't know, something like that. Yeah, I really feel like I'm just not cut out for this. I didn't fit the mold of this society at this time and the way people are these days. This is not the place for me, you know? Imagine being a sane man locked in an asylum for the criminally insane, true madmen surrounding you, being trapped there, extended period, years and years and years. How would that man retain his sanity in such an environment? I feel like this world I'm in is an asylum where the lunatics run the asylum. It's an open air prison where the prisoners are the guards. And they have this pride in this thing they built. They built their own prison. So they exist in a state of schizophrenia where they aren't able to see it as a prison. And I feel trapped in this world, in this place here. It feels so unnatural, or the people feel so unnatural and so unreal, where the expectations of our society are far and beyond what the true human being should be subjected to. So far and away from what's right or what's fair. I've had a lot of traumatic experiences throughout my life. I managed to cope alright for a while here and there. With a little rest and a boatload of courage, gone out to try time and time again. Time and time again, society has failed me, and that's how I see it. Time and time again, people have failed to recognize me, to understand me, to care, to understand, to comprehend, to empathize with me, and I felt so alone. And I'm tired of it. I don't want to check out, I just want to get the hell out of here. Find greener pastures, you know? If there is such a place. This place, you know, some songs really speak to me, you know, like, the world is a vampire sent to drain, secret destroyers hold you up to the flames, and what do I get for my pain? Betrayed desires. I don't know about that piece of gain. I ain't no rock star, man. I feel like for all the things I've gained, on the brink of losing it all. As much as I'd like to keep all these things, all the things I have, I don't want to lose them. I don't want to lose any more because I've already lost so much. You know? Souvenirs, right? You hear that John Prine song, Souvenirs? I hate graveyards and old pawn shops, for they always bring me tears. Can't forgive the way they rob me of my childhood souvenirs. Memories can't be bought, can't be won at carnivals for free. It took me years to get those souvenirs. Don't know how they slipped away from me. You know, for all the things I have, memories attached to them, connections and ties to moments of my life, family, to memories of better times, many instances. All my things tell a story. Now am I supposed to let all those things go? Let pieces of me be stripped away? Sold to the highest bidder, merciless parasite, stealing pieces of my life and all that I've acquired to coldly sell it off. Will they sell my mom's paintings on eBay? For a couple bucks? Knowing I would never have walls to hang them on, because I've been left behind, abandoned, by a society that held me up on a pedestal as a child and flushed me down the toilet when they decided I was no longer cute. Judged for loss of innocence by a society that stole it away. Judged to be unclean by those who've raped my mind, body, and soul. And now they call me impure. They take their plunder, my mind, my possessions, my health, years of my life, and the life that I could have had, stripped away and stolen from me. What does society want? More, 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 always more. Give me more, blood pig. Give me more, blood pig, says the vampires. I've no more to give. I don't want to give another inch of myself to this society. Not a millimeter. to live in their false world. Their bullshit. Tired of it. Tired of being a fucking whipping boy. Dance, monkey dance. Man goes to see a psychiatrist. Says, doctor, I felt so lost. Dealing with a deep despair. Life has lost all its meaning. Doctor says, I have just the cure for you. The great clown Pagliacci is in town. So you go and see him. He says, but doctor, I am Pagliacci. Mm-hmm. You know? That's how I feel. That's how I feel. That's the shortest version I can think to say how I feel. There's so much more to it, you know, really a lot of depth, but hey, if I can manage to make a rant that's not many hours long, good on me.